Good afternoon. I'm here to talk to you guys today about student debt. Now, by a show of hands, how many of you can use an extra $33,000? Well, according to an article published by CNBC in May of 2014, the average college student leaves college with about $30,000 in student loan debt and another $3,000 in credit card debt. If you were to make the average payments over the 10 years allotted, you would actually be paying about $50,000 on those loans alone. That's not including the $3,000 in credit card debt. But this may be worth it to you depending on your future goals. According to a memo recently released by the White House, college graduates continue to out-earn high school graduates, and that gap is increasing over time. Some estimates put that as $1 million over the lifetime for a bachelor's degree and about $3 million over the lifetime for a doctorate degree. So the choice to pursue a higher education is worth it to many students. But while financial aid is a crucial part of the educational process, it does bring many challenges that you will have to face long after your college career is over. So today we will discuss the makeup of students who use debt to further their college education. Next, we'll discuss the long-term consequences of debt on the student and the economy as a whole. And finally, we will discuss some alternatives to debt in order to receive a college education. Here you see a guy straddled with debt. First, I'd like to discuss the makeup of students who use debt to further their education. Over the last 20 years, the makeup of students that borrow money for college has changed. The Pew Research website published an article in October of 2014 that said 69% of new college graduates left college with student debt. So to put that in perspective, we got a class of 16 students. That means 11 of us are going to leave here owing somebody something. 5 of us will get out of here debt-free. Hopefully I'm one of them. That amount was double from 20 years ago. And the reason for this, according to Bloomberg.com, is that the cost for a college degree has went up 1,120% over the last 35 years. Now that's twice medical expenses, and medical expenses was the second largest increase in the consumer price index. Due to the recent economic downturn, a lot of non-traditional students has entered college to further their earning potential. And a non-traditional student, somebody that's 35 or older. And while that may help their earning potential, they don't have as much time to pay that money back. During my research, I found an article about a lady on New York Times, September 12, 2014. Her name is Janet Lee Dupree. She's 72 years old. She took out $3,000 worth of college loans in the early 70s, and due to missed payments and missed payments and penalties, she still owes $15,000 on those loans. Now she's not a normal case. She was kind of like a deadbeat, wasn't paying her bills, but she's not alone. According to that same article, there are 2 million Americans over the age of 60 who still owe money on their college debts. So can you imagine being 60, trying to decide on whether buying your medicine or your depends or paying your college student loans that you made 40 years ago. And non-traditional students aren't the only one that's getting that debt. According to a recent report by the White House, millennials, or those aged 18 through 34, enrollment has increased 4%. The largest number of that was amongst black students. And they said that black students, or African American students, usually take out about 15% more debt than their peers, and more than 4 out of 5 African American students borrow money to go to college. So now that you are familiar with the demographic of students that use debt to further their education, I would like to discuss some of the long-term effects of college debt on students and the economy as a whole. I found a New York Times article published in May of 2014 that said the total outstanding student debts have risen to $1.1 trillion compared with $300 billion just a decade ago. For the first time in history, student loan debt surpassed credit card debt and is only second to mortgage debt. And the defaults on those loans have risen in tandem with the debt. According to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, there are about 7 million Americans in default on over $100 billion in student loan balances. In September 2014, Richard Cordray, the director of the CFPB, said high levels of college debt limit the graduates' choices about careers and the communities they choose to live in. He goes on to say that students are not buying houses because of the debt-to-income ratio, and this is a problem because millennials drive the economy and economic growth in purchasing houses, and they're not doing that. They graduate colleges and moving back in with their mom and dad. It's also a hindrance in buying cars, starting small businesses, or saving for retirements. He also says that graduates are less likely to take public service positions because they don't get paid as much and they own this debt. So as a result, by the year of 2020, there will be shortages in career fields of teaching, public servants, and healthcare workers. Now that we've discussed the long-term effects of student loan debts on student and the economy, I would like to discuss some alternatives to debt in order to get a degree. Enlisting in the military is one of the best ways to get a degree for little or no money. According to military.com, each branch of the service offers tuition assistance. Depending on which branch you're in, you can receive up to 100% tuition assistance, and every veteran, as long as they contribute, are eligible for the GI Bill. The GI Bill gives you 100% tuition and fee coverage, a monthly living stipend, and about $1,000 a year for books and supplies, among other things. In this book, The Total Money Makeover, financial guru Dave Ramsey states that there are other things that you can try. You can try to get in the underserved areas program. They pay off your student loans if you get a degree in a career field that they need, and that's usually for inner city or rural areas, and the degrees are usually in law and medicine. Even if you accept the financial aid, just be conscious about how much money you take. This year was my first time getting financial aid, and by the time I paid everything, I had about $3,000 left, so I sent it back to them. So in conclusion, a college degree is well worth it to many people if you want to further your earnings. However, using financial aid is is something that you're going to have to pay for a long time after your college career is over.